It is 1961, my first physical education class since starting high school. Abe Bryan, a former decorated World War II Marine veteran, is instructing the freshmen in the art of group physical exercise. The results of our efforts elicited some of the most colorful language I'd heard in my short life. There's only one I can share with you, gentle listeners. For some reason, this one stayed with me for 60 years. If you are familiar with draft beer, this will make sense to you. Commenting on our ability to follow directions, he said, "I've seen better heads on a nickel beer." Can you remember a coach in your past who berated and belittled your efforts? How did that make you feel? For this talk, I will use the word teacher and coach interchangeably. In 2010 in Cheatham County, I was a census supervisor. I had 8 census workers that I was responsible for training, overseeing, and motivating. They were a group who ultimately performed their job with enthusiasm, attention to detail, and pride in their work, except for one. I spent more time coaching and encouraging this one than the other 7 combined. The time came when my supervisor informed me that due to this person's low productivity and lack of effort, I was going to encourage him to resign. The evening came when he was to return his supplies. He was almost confrontational with me. And then a passage from the Tao came from my mind to my lips. With all sincerity, I apologized to him and said, I really believed there is no such thing as a bad student, only a bad teacher. I apologized for being a bad teacher, and it changed the way he acted. Suddenly, he was apologizing to me. What kind of teacher are you? Does it make a difference? There's an interesting series on Netflix called 100 Humans. 100 hardy souls from diverse backgrounds participate in playful experiments exploring age, sex, happiness, and other aspects of being human. One of the experiments they did had to do with the results of positive and/or negative feedback. Volunteers were shown how to spin plates. They then practiced for 2 hours and were graded on their ability to spin a plate on a stick, transfer it to their finger, and then spin the plate while balancing it on their chin. They were all individually graded and then were brought back into the judges and were given critique for their performance. The judge and plate spinning instructor drew random ping pong balls that decided if the participant would get positive or negative feedback. Amazingly, as they came in, due to the luck of the draw, one of the best spinners the first time around was given negative feedback, and one of the worst was given positive feedback. When they were all finished getting their feedback, they were sent out for another hour of practice. Then they were brought back and individually scored again. The volunteers who were given positive feedback all saw better scores than their first effort. All the volunteers but one who were given negative feedback exhibited a worse repeat performance. Do you think my physical education coach elicited optimal results from his students? If you were given the choice between negative and positive feedback, which do you prefer to receive? When it's your turn to coach someone, will you have a head better than a nickel beer?